But anyhow.
I was going to ask you.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Oh, sorry. My bad.
It's all good. What'd you say? What were you going to say?
I was going to ask you, what episode number are we at? Because I was like,
We're at 350. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Show Radio. It's episode 350. I'm your host, Andrew.
Hi, guys. I'm Danny.
And this is your source for tech, gaming, and entertainment news. Head over to theshowradio.info. Once again, it's theshowradio.info. And check out our past shows while you're there. Subscribe and tell a friend about the show. The show is on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you download your shows. Miss DJM is chilling, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. And we can go from there. What's going on, DJ?
Nothing much. Just enjoying my weekend, and it's a good day. It's a very good day. How's your week been?
It's good. It's good. This week was cool. I did a interview with Neil Galarte. He was the podcast, The Messengers guy. He was the filmmaker for that project, documentary thing. So definitely was cool. I really enjoyed our conversation. He definitely gave tips about filmmaking and podcasting and stuff like that. So I should drop that sometime this week. I did check out the Nintendo stuff. We can talk about that. I definitely want to talk about your backlog first. So you go ahead first.
Why my backlog first? Nintendo.
Why not?
Because Nintendo is far more exciting.
Yeah, no, well, okay. So Nintendo was cool, but I want you to go first.
Okay, fine. No, I have such a huge backlog of games, and so I haven't been able to stream as regularly as I normally did, so I got up kind of early, and I jumped on. I'm like, okay, we're going to do this, and I bothered my boyfriend because he didn't finish the campaign for Gears 4 yet, and we're doing it on Insane, which right now is the hardest difficulty. And, we were at it for, I feel like almost 6 hours. I think it was almost 6 hours.
For the campaign, 6 hours?
Yeah. The thing is like we only finished one chapter of that act, which
act are you on?
We are on Act 4, Chapter 5.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, oh my goodness, we were at this for so long. And when we started, we're like, oh, we don't have that much more to go. And I made a bad joke of like, oh, yeah, we're going to say that. And 6 hours later, we only finished one small part. And that is exactly what happened. And it got to the point where we're so frustrated of like, I need to step away. I'm done with this. I'm like, all right. So tried. I didn't finish Wildlands. We moved on to that. We did a little bit of that. But I think after a little while, he just like needed to super like step away because we were playing for almost the entire day.
All right. So my question to you is, how long is that game? And for Insane, is it down and you're bleeding, or how does it work for Gears 4? Like
once you're shot and you're like full red, like you get one more shot after full red, you're just dead. There's no downloading that out. You're just dead, which makes it frustrating because you have to play almost perfectly. And how long the game is, I'm not too sure. In hardcore, let's see. I did it on hardcore for my first playthrough, which is one difficulty below. And I think we did that in like 9 or 10 hours.
Okay.
So this one, we're taking way longer than that. It's kind of ridiculous. And you know what's crazy is that there's going to be an update. I believe there's going to be an update sometime this summer in which they're going to make an additional harder difficulty on top of Insane. I'm like, I'm not touching that.
Well, why would they do that?
I don't know, because there's some serious hardcore players out there that maybe they thought Insane was too, I don't know, easy. I'm frustrated with it right now.
I don't even understand. I've never played Gears of War 4 yet. I haven't. It's
definitely one of the not compared to 1 and 3. I like 3, but the story so far in this one explains quite a bit of stuff, and it still leaves some questions open. So it's really good.
Okay, so you played Gears. You also played Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Oh yeah, Puyo Puyo Tetris is so weird. First of all, I was having fun. It's a cute little game, except that I've never played any of the Puyo Puyo games. So I know there's a strategy in there that I'm not picking up. And I'm like, I'll just stick with Tetris part because I know how to play that. But this adding a storyline to it is very interesting, and the characters are very, I don't know, bizarre but enjoyable. And
okay, they say weird things.
Yeah, they say really weird things. Like they're like this, like the opening thing was like Ringo, which I was told the character's name is Ringo, and she carries this apple, and I was told that in translation, Ringo in Japanese means apple. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can picture those people doing that. But she starts off with like, it's such a beautiful day. You know, it would be great if your friends came falling out of the sky. I'm like, who says that? Why?
Wow. Okay.
But it's a very cute game, and for like $20, $22, it's fun. It's worth it.
Okay, so what else did you play after that?
That was it. I needed a break. Oh, actually, no. I played some games off of stream, and I played Typing of the Dead, which is an older Sega Saturn game, and I originally bought it as a means to help my son with his typing, because it's like House of the Dead. It's a shooter, but you're typing words instead of shooting a gun against zombies.
Right, I remember that from the arcade. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's not really child friendly. I thought, I realized that after buying it. There's a lot of cussing in it, just to let everybody know, a lot. So buying it for my son to learn typing, I'm like, how about you play it without audio?
Right. So as you type, you're killing the stuff on the screen and you're reloading, that kind of a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he is a one-finger typer, and it drives me crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, how is it that use your whole hand? And I've been trying out different ways to help him improve his typing, and he's still a one-finger typer on each hand. And watching him type, it's like, I can't do this.
So I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Daniel. Daniel says, don't forget the let's fight to calm people down part.
Oh, yeah, that was in Puyo Puyo. So every time, like, you have the Tetris people, and then you have the Puyo Puyo puzzle people, and they came across each other there, and they're fuming mad, and they're like, I will fight her to calm her down. I'm like, yeah, like, that's going to work.
Wow.
Who fights to calm people down?
That's backwards.
It really is, but it's funny. And then it worked, and like you do your Puyo Puyo and your Tetris battle, and then like the other person loses, and like they're just super calm, and they're your friend now. And I'm like, it's such a weird game.
All right, so a question I have also for you is, can you isolate the standard Tetris mode with the other stuff?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, how you're playing Tetris, you just have the blocks and you don't have anything else on the screen. And then you have, I don't know what the Puyo part is, and essentially with the game. So can you just play regular Tetris without any fancy stuff attached to it?
I believe there is a mode for that. I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't explore too much into it. I know that when you're playing the online multiplayer, because you can challenge other people, you can choose if you want to do the Tetris side or the Puyo Puyo side. And I just chose Tetris because I am not getting the strategy of Puyo Puyo yet. But I lost every single match, and it was too.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I didn't win a single one, and every single one I lost, they all chose Puyo Puyo. I'm like, I need to go learn how to do that part better. Because what you're doing is you're matching fork. So like they drop down in like blocks of or blobs of two, and they're like two different colors or same colors, and you have to get 4 colors of the same touching each other to clear them out. But the higher the chain, or the more chains that you can get created, the more points and damage you do. Except the whole pattern on making that happen, I'm like, I don't know how to do this. So that, like, when I don't want all 4 touching immediately, I want them to just happen coincidentally. And I'm like,
right. So you're trying to stack and make bigger blocks, basically, bigger strands of connections.
Yes, and I just wasn't getting that at all. It was really bad.
Very interesting. So one of the things that we talked, I have to figure out what I'm going to edit in and out of this particular episode, but because it's interesting to me already. So episode 350 is usually any 50s for podcasts or podcasters is like a landmark to some degree, right? And whenever I get to a 50, I really just like, okay, it's just another episode to me. So I don't know how to really process that. So I guess I'm supposed to celebrate, I'm supposed to say, hey guys, this episode 350, send in some voicemails, say congratulations for another landmark and all that stuff. And I didn't really do that. So I don't know what that means per se for me right now. Okay. So I guess I just wanted to share that. But yeah. So any thoughts before we go on?
I'll be excited for you. 350.
Woo! I appreciate it. All right, so Nintendo, some stuff. Okay, so I went to this Nintendo event this past week. Apparently Nintendo did a collaboration, a partnership with Uniqlo. And what they did was they allowed individuals to create t-shirt designs. And depending on who won the designs first, second, and third, or as far as placement is concerned, then they get to see their designs, in full effect. I don't know what Nintendo does to say, okay, hey, we're going to pick your design and then just sell it. I don't know how that worked in terms of that partnership. But so we went to this event. I went with my cousin, so we were hanging out and stuff like that. They had a DJ. They had the shirt collection, took a couple of videos, a couple of shots of some arcade machines that they had there, a little crowd action and stuff like that. It was really neat. It was really neat. The focus really was for the partnership and how they, I guess, transform the store to this Nintendo land with the stars and coins on the ground as far as like the design. And they had the mushrooms on the wall and stuff like that. It was really cool how they, have the red, white standard Nintendo colors and how they transformed that store. So I don't know if that store is going to remain like that until, they decide to do something else. But if it's a long-standing partnership, then every time you walk into, I guess, a Uniqlo store, you're going to see Nintendo stuff. The shirts range from, I think, from what I was seeing, $14.95, the shirts, as far as sales are concerned. They were pretty cool designs, Donkey Kong, and there was the star, Mario was on one of the shirts. And so...
Yeah, their shirts are really nice cool. And very affordable.
Yeah, and I was surprised the price was that. To me, that's low. In terms of, I think $14.95 for a shirt is low. I was expecting, because it was Nintendo, it was going to be something higher, like $20, $25, $24.99 or something like that. That's what I'm
definitely used to.
Right. So I was expecting that. And, it looks cool. I definitely want to get one of those shirts, maybe the Donkey Kong one and the red one with, I think Mario's on the red one or something like that. But from what I remember. But it was definitely a cool event. Definitely, shout outs to Nintendo and Uniqlo for the invitation. I did shoot some video. I'm going to post that on YouTube once I edit that. And that's one thing. I guess the other thing, as I remember it now, there's a company called Works. They do a lot of outdoor equipment stuff. And they recently sent a power washer, but you can also use it for your car. So they sent that. I'm going to do an unboxing for that. So definitely, hashtag sponsored, hashtag ad is definitely for that. So definitely thank you for that. Works. And that's with an X. So they did send that. What else is going on? Blade Runner. Okay.
I didn't watch it yet.
Did watch that.
I didn't watch it yet.
Oh,
I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for my son.
It was.
It'd be fun to watch it with my son for whatever.
Okay. I enjoyed it. That's all I'll say there. And also Injustice 2, the movie, in terms of someone taking all the cutscenes from the Injustice 2 game, and it's like 2 hours and 36 minutes or something like that, just straight cutscenes, which is insane for a fighting game. So yeah, so that's a couple of things in terms of what happened this week.
Okay, I was watching. Okay, I'm gonna watch that when you linked the Injustice 2 stuff. I was amazed for how long it was. But I'm gonna be
over 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it because it's DC. But I'm not really interested in any of the Injustice game. Period. Like I was watching a couple of friends play it. And it kind of, in a way, bores me. Like, it doesn't seem so exciting as compared to, I don't know, other fighters.
So you're not gonna check it out at all? You're gonna just
I'll just watch my friends play it and pass on it. I'm gonna watch these cutscenes because I like
they're amazing.
The story. And yeah, the cutscenes look really interesting, but the fights itself are just kind of boring to me. There's nothing exciting to it.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say it's an offshoot of Mortal Kombat stuff, but it kind of has that feel, that dark, not necessarily bloody as far as Mortal Kombat is concerned. But I didn't get the first one, but I enjoyed what I saw from the second one, so I'm still kind of interested. I'm on the fence, but as far as fighting games are concerned right now, I'm not really playing them as much as I used to. So I think it would be a waste right now if I picked it up. So I don't know if it's $4 like what do you call it that I picked up recently? The Gears
18.
game.
Oh, Gears?
Yeah, 1886. Yeah, it's like Gears to me. Sherlock Holmes meets Gears meets Resident Evil meets Underworld with lichens and all those things. So it's definitely interesting. Yeah. So that's what I have there. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. So tech entertainment news. 10 must-have WordPress plugins for business. Top 5 free video converters. And a couple of things came out of I/O for Android. Going to have those links in the show notes. Also, YouTube live streaming is open to all, and comments and thoughts on those things.
This is how little I pay attention to YouTube now. I just watch there for occasional videos. I thought their live streaming was open to everybody. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So select few.
Yeah, they had a lock on it for a while. I think it was 10,000 subscribers, and the account had to be active for a while or verified for a while or something like that. And they recently opened it up to everybody.
I think live streaming, no matter the platform, kind of scares me. It doesn't matter if it's Twitch, YouTube, or Periscope. It kind of scares me in a sense. Like, I'll do it only if I'm in an area that's not home. Like, I only use Periscope. And I will use that when I go to a convention or I'm just not in my state, because I'm paranoid of anybody like, I recognize that landmark and just kind of like pinpointing where I live.
Okay.
Like, do you ever get that feeling?
Okay. So I don't mind doing Facebook Live at home. I don't mind because you're inside, right? Mm-hmm. I don't mind doing it out either. But I usually speak in generic terms in terms of where I live. So since I'm originally from Brooklyn, I usually just use that for most of the online platforms, or New York, which is the city. So anything closer to home, I kind of try to shy away from that stuff. But I'll shoot video right outside the house, with the car or something like that. But I try not to put any numbers on the video or stuff like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just always being that extra step in cautionary that, I don't know, some people, when I watch them do it, it's like, you just don't care where anybody is, like, or who's watching you, what you're doing. It's kind of like that streamer who was swatted on his airplane.
That's crazy.
That's kind of makes me nervous. Like when somebody finds out, oh, I know what airlines you are, and they put that fake swatting, and things like that make me nervous.
Yeah. So I try to be as generic as possible. I may shoot some video outside, but I think that's the extent of it. I don't necessarily shoot, exactly in front of my house so you can see the house itself, that kind of a thing. So I guess there's some security measures that I try to adhere by for the most part. But I mean, I don't mind the streaming component. I wanted to ask you though, because I know that you're mostly Twitch, and as far as YouTube, are you doing anything with YouTube right now? Are you considering doing anything in YouTube soon?
I consider it. Mm-hmm. I just need to. I don't have as much time to invest into YouTube editing.
Okay.
See, I give it to you because editing video just takes a while, and if you do it enough, you're gonna get used to it. You have these shortcuts that you learn. But I just don't have as much time. I would love to. I used to do YouTube, but I just stopped for 4 years.
Yeah, it's definitely it's really time consuming. I mean, it's easier for me to edit a podcast than it is to do the video stuff, especially because you're trying to think of exactly how you want to edit and what story you're trying to tell, with all the 8 to 10 different clips that you have and what order they're going to be in, that kind of a thing. So it's definitely more time consuming, I believe, than audio itself.
I also think finding your voice on YouTube is harder. It's more difficult. I just feel that there's so many YouTube creators, content creators out there that it's hard to come up with something that's just you and something that just makes you a little bit more different from the next YouTuber. And it can be a lot of fun, and I find it to be a lot of fun, and I would love to do more stuff on there, but it's just kind of that feeling of like, okay, so like what would be different that I can offer you that nobody already has? And I feel that's a lot harder.
Well, you're different. You're a totally different human being, right? Different personality that is unmatched. So you can definitely bring that to the table. There's a community waiting for you because of your background, and people will relate to that more than they relate to me because of different backgrounds, ethnicities, and all those things. So you're definitely bringing something to the table that I may never bring because I am not a female and you are. So all those different parts play a role to some degree on the voice and presentation, right? So as soon as they see me, there's already some preconceptions, if you will, right? There's always going to be. So even I guess I'll just leave it there. So you're definitely bringing something. I want to go in on that, but I don't want to go in on it right now. But there's definitely some preconceptions, But yeah, you're definitely gonna bring something different to the table. Skeletal says YouTube can be fun to do, even if it's something simple. I use it to record matches for Honor and Killer Instinct that I thought I did well at. I'm doing it for me, not in the hopes of having some massive audience. Now, the other thing, too, when it comes to YouTube, as I'm thinking about it, is there's definitely storytelling elements, and that drives individuals to be interested in the content that you're putting out, right? And you have a lot of stories to tell. Like, I learned stuff about Gutter that I would never know unless you talked about it recently, right? So there's definitely stories there, and even certain aspects of news. Even if you were, or I, if we did one video a week, there's always something, and those 7 days that happen that you can do 3 to 5 minutes from or to. It's just that you have to edit it afterwards, right? That's the whole thing. So, and sometimes we don't want to, so. Yeah,
that's the hard part. I remember editing videos and just having it take half my day, and I'm like, okay, it took half my day to do this 6-minute video. I'm done.
Yeah, it's definitely crazy. I want to do more stuff with the live stuff, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and all those different tools, because we're essentially our own PR, machines, if you will. And we have all those tools, and I definitely want to take advantage of some of them, or at least incorporate them in some of the things that we're doing right now. You know what I mean?
That'd be a lot of fun. I kind of actually like Facebook Live stuff. I've done that a couple times.
Yeah,
it's interesting to see those live comments coming in.
Right. About I think it was from BeLive.tv or something like that. And I've seen a lot of people do or use that platform for Facebook Live as they answer questions. So I definitely want to do that. So yeah, so there's a lot going on with that stuff. Google Home, you can now schedule calendar updates, reminders, and making calls. That's going to come soon. Google Home now supports free Spotify accounts, which is great, because I don't want to pay for a Spotify account, plus SoundCloud and Deezer. Chromecast support, CNN app, Cartoon Network now support Chromecast. Any comments on those things?
I feel behind in tech because I don't have a Google Home. I don't have any of those devices in my house.
Because?
I don't know. I never found a reason to own it yet. Oh, they look cool, and I'm like, yeah. I will not use this to the full potential to make it worth the money.
Right. So the thing, or the challenge that I'm having now is we have one Google Home, and I have to keep moving it around. So living room, bedroom, and if it's going to take calls soon, I just want to have one in the studio and then one in the bedroom. That's probably it. So I have to buy another one, which is I think that $120 or something like that. So that's the only thing, right? But they're really, really cool. I mean, the sound is as good as it could be from a speaker like that, but it's cool. Asking it questions, wake me up, set alarms, and those things. It's really neat.
So
I like it.
It kind of, I don't know. For me, the first thing that I thought of is your Google Home is like your mom.
Yeah,
you have
call.
This go to.
Yeah,
Please
exactly.
wake up. Hello, wake up.
Yeah, it should have central air. The thing with it also, you can turn on lights, dim lights, and some other stuff like that. But it's neat. They're adding more stuff to it, which is great in terms of what you can do as far as the reminders that's coming soon and some other stuff. So I'm excited more for it now than I was when I first got it, because it was really like scarce. I mean, it was like a desert.
See, this is how Skynet comes.
Yeah.
This is how Skynet happens. They'll learn your patterns and your tendencies, and then they will use it against you.
And I think it's always listening sometimes. I kind of feel that. I don't know if it's really picking up anything. I'm sure
there are some Big Brother conspiracy theorists over there that probably thinks that they are, it is 100% true that Big Brother's listening to you through your Google Home.
Right. But at the same time, we're giving up that privacy, right? So all the different apps, all the different social platforms that we use, we actually say, here, take my privacy.
Yep. Pretty much.
Essentially. So I don't know. It's definitely fun. No issues with it right now. So hopefully it stays that way. PS4 HDD external drives tested. That was a link that I saw. That goes back to the thing that we're talking about with the FreeBSD with a full hard drive or not so full. It still does the same rate or something like that. Remember we were talking about that? Mm-hmm. So that's part of that link, I think. That's what that is. OnePlus 5 prototype shows dual camera setup. A Seagate 2 terabyte Barracuda if you want that. I think it's marked down. And also Logitech MX Master, which is a great mouse, which is what I use. It's at $63 right now. Any comments on those things?
Both those hard drives are a really good price. The 4 terabyte, the external, was only like $109. That's actually a really good price. I'm actually kind of contemplating it just for my PS4. And I'm assuming it would be good for the PS4 Pro as well, because when I was looking at the speeds and everything. Because I know I would want that at some point, and 4 terabytes would pretty much future-proof any space issues I will have.
Yeah, 4 terabytes is a lot. Is a lot. So you're definitely going for it?
Possibly. Maybe as a birthday gift to myself.
Very cool.
But
Very cool. Yeah,
it's not bad. It was pretty good. I don't buy so many games digitally. Most of mine are physical copies, but they still have those huge installs regardless. And I have a hard time deciding what I'm going to delete. So let's just get rid of the issues and just keep it all.
It might be time very, very soon for you, right?
Yeah, very, very soon.
Okay. Becoming Bond, that's on Hulu. If you're into the Bond, this one is George Lazenby, an Australian car mechanic who managed to land the role of James Bond despite never acting a day in his life. That's nice. That must be nice to get the Bond role after that. So you have that. Netflix is also developing the Dark Crystal. That's from the prequel series to Jim Henson's 1982 fantasy film, and also Witcher saga. Netflix is developing and producing a show based on that. Any comments on that?
Okay, first of all, I've never played The Witcher. Probably never will, because it's such a big series. So having a show based on that, I'm like, perfect. Maybe you include the story so I understand what my friends are talking about.
Okay, so if it's exciting enough for you to be interested in playing the game, would you find yourself playing the game after watching the show?
No. I don't need to add another RPG and its huge storyline to my backlog of games. It's the reason why I don't even want to touch Skyrim. Same exact reason. I have The Witcher. It's gifted to me. I'm like, this is cool. I want to get into it. I downloaded it, installed it. I was like, this is too much. I ran away. I uninstalled it. It's just too much for me to take on at this moment. Or at all. I can't keep adding on games to my library.
Yeah, I think to some degree it could be argued. I'll say that we're spoiled when it comes to all the stuff that's coming out.
Oh,
there's so much. Yeah, there's so much stuff. And you just can't really decide, whether it's Destiny one day or The Order or Street Fighter 5 or, Halo or,
When it comes to my gaming, I know I'm super spoiled because I remember being a kid and I would get one game and that game had to last me and I had to love it for at least the next 6 months before I could get another game.
Right.
Now I just like, I am so backed up that I feel like I don't give a single game as much attention and care as I probably should, or I allow myself to be taken in with it.
Right.
And that sucks because like in my mind, when I'm playing a game, I like to look at all of the background details and all those finer things because, man, there is somebody who worked really hard to make this game look good and nobody's paying attention to it. Exactly.
Like even right now playing Order 1886, I'm trying to find a reason to put it down so I can do something else. And that's not good, you know, and that's not because something's wrong with the game or I'm not enjoying it. Or, you know, it's not scary enough because it has scary elements and I'm trying to put it down because of that. But outside of that, it's a really good game, you know, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm trying to find a reason to put it down. And because we have so many options, right? So
we really do. So many options.
I'm struggling with that. Definitely struggling with that right now. This episode of The Show Radio is brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron sends incredible recipes and farm fresh ingredients to make great cooking accessible to everyone. Head over to theshowradio.info/Blue Apron and get $30 off your first Blue Apron order. Dwayne Johnson has confirmed Superman will battle against Black Adam. Suicide Squad director David Ayer is in early talks to direct Scarface reboot. X-23 could return to X-Men films. Any comments on those things?
Yay for Black Adam. Boo for the Scarface reboot. Like, Scarface does not need to be touched.
Yeah,
does not need to be a reboot on that series, on that movie at all. Leave it alone.
Yeah, but there's so many reboots happening right now.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, for sure. So you have that, then you have shows moving to other days. You know, Arrow's moving to Thursdays this fall. Gotham is also moving to Thursday. And then when it comes to sitting in a movie theater watching a movie, you know, okay, I'll tell you one thing, Danny. If we're at a movie theater, right, and we're watching a good movie, and you decide to take out your phone, I might just have to sue you. I might have to do it because who pulls out their phone during a screening of a great movie? Like, why would you do that?
Probably the girl that you decided to add, you know, on Tinder. You probably matched up on Tinder and you asked her, let's go to the movies. That girl. Yeah. You're definitely getting sued. I'd be upset. Sure. I don't care how long I've known you. If I take you out to the movies and you're texting, oh, hell no. I'm going to take that phone. It's going in my purse. Watch this movie I just paid for because these tickets are not cheap.
Yeah, you're right. They're like, what, 17 plus? Like, okay, so that's the other question I wanted to ask you. So your $17 in Hawaii, is it my $17 in the States?
Yes.
On the mainland, I should say? Is the same?
Yes, it's the same.
Okay, how much is your gallon of milk?
It's around $8.
Is it $3.50?
No.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So your gallon of milk, okay, is $8, $9.
Yes.
So it's not the same as my gallon of milk, which is $3.50 to $4.75.
Yes.
So there's a difference.
There's a difference, yeah.
There's a difference. So there's a difference in the dairy, but not a difference in the entertainment movie tickets.
Our stuff has to be imported in, so it's a higher price because it's imported. And it comes in by barge or overnight or anything like that, so we have to pay that higher value. Like our bread, I'm pretty sure your bread is probably what, 99 cents for a basic loaf of bread.
$2.50. Yeah, I usually pay $2.50 for a loaf.
Okay, I'm paying like $4 or $5.
Okay.
For those kind of things. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Whereas a movie is just kind of like, okay, so they bring in that once. And that's kind of it.
Okay. I always wanted to hear a native, if you will, speak on the price difference.
It is expensive. Don't move to Hawaii.
Don't move. I'll visit though.
You can visit for sure. Just don't live here because it's expensive.
Yeah. Daniel said, I remember being in high school, we had a student discount at the theaters. One movie ticket was $8. That's not bad. $8 is not bad. Okay. So right now where I'm at, I'm in Long Island. So I think there's a theater near me that does $6 to $8. Like that's the regular price to see a movie that just came out or something like that. So I never go there. I don't know why. And they're closer to me than the other theaters that I go to. but I definitely need to check them out to see their setup. I don't think it's going to be the couch, recliner type setup for $10, but it's definitely an option for me to do that. So you have that because interestingly enough, as we were talking before, a man decided to sue his date for texting during a screening of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. That's going to be in the show notes. Tom Hardy, known for Dark Knight Rises, Black Hawk Down, will star as Eddie Brock in Venom. Resident Evil is getting a 6-movie reboot. Any comments on those things?
Why? Did it just finish the series? That's what was that movie came out? January, February, something like that? Why are you already giving it a reboot? Yet alone.
Because it's Resident Evil. That's why.
I don't get it. No. But before I continue on with that, I have to agree with Gutter. The Venom choices, I like.
Venom guy was dope.
Tom Hardy. I don't get it. I don't. And I swear if they're choosing Mila Jovovich again, I don't know what I'm going to say.
Why not?
Because she already did this. How long have they been going on now? 12 years? Oh.
How many? Okay, so you're saying that. So you have Fast and Furious. That's still going on.
That
right?
needs to stop.
Then you have... Which other one's still going on? Okay, so Resident Evil is going to get some additional movies. What else? Underworld is still going on. I don't even know how long they're still doing Underworld. They just brought that back not too long ago.
This is clear signs that Hollywood is just running out of ideas where it's like they end one and they start it over again. Because how many times
are they
really?
really?
Spider-Man? How many times did they redo like X-Men? And I'm just like, just stop. Done. No more.
It makes money. You know they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, except come up with something new. Make it exciting. I don't know. It's just ridiculous. Right. And the Resident Evil movies, they're just so bad.
Right.
I'm disappointed.
That's subjective, though.
That is.
Oh, man. Tom Hardy would be an excellent in that role. I'm glad to see him getting more parts. I think he's a great actor, says Skeletal. Gutter Magic says, yes, totally awesome. I guess you can read that. What's that symbol? Splendid. What is that symbol for?
That's
what do you usually...
symbol.
That's, yeah, okay, right?
Emoji, just like...
Totally cool. All right, so you have that. All right, so I definitely want to spend some time here in this particular thing. So... you are a streamer. You are more of a streamer than I am. Okay, that is a fact at this point. And then we have some other awesome streamers hanging out on Discord right now. So what are the needs of a streamer these days? Because I don't stream on the like you do it, because you have the PC and you have a capture card kind of thing, right? I think. Right. So you have that set up. I just, turn on the PlayStation. I just say, hey, broadcast this, that kind of a thing. So what are the needs for you guys when you stream now? Is there something missing in your setup? Like, I wish I had something that made this easier for me to do my transitions and all that stuff. What is going on with all that?
I would love to, like, if I could increase. This is more personal preference for every individual streamer. I don't think every single one does. Basically, you really don't need all of those fancy things, because I still stick with a streamer is as good as their personality. That's that's where I stick with that. But there are things that would make things a lot easier. And of course, you want to have like your stuff to be like top notch production quality. And I can't remember my hotkeys for anything. I really can't. Like, I know OBS and XSplit both have ways that you can set up hotkeys to do specific things. I can't remember them all. I tried to do that, and I always end up screwing it up. And I always wish that there was an easier way to do those, because it just looks nicer and more put together when you can create this production that's just pleasing to the viewer's eyes. Is it necessary? No, not really. Would you like it?
Okay.
I know I would. I really do.
Okay. So, all right. So we recently saw this Elgato Stream Deck thing, right?
Yeah.
So when you turn on and you get ready to play Puyo Puyo Tetris or Gears of War, what do you do? What is your ritual, if you will?
My ritual? Oh, man, I have to I open up all my different Windows, I have my bot that's open, I have Streamlabs, I have XSplit, and I have to always think ahead of time of like, okay, if I have to transition for whatever reason it is, I know that I have to have that all set up before I even like go live.
Okay.
Because it's just going to be a hot mess if I have to do that on the fly. So like when it comes to like the Stream Deck, I know it just simplifies that in so many different ways, being able to transition from different scenes that you have set up. Because right now I only have one scene set up. And basically what a scene is having your overlay and your game input and your webcam and having that all set up. And you can have multiples of those for whether you're doing a console, whether you're doing a PC game, whatever it is. But I just have it all smushed into one. And then I'm like, okay, I want this one on. I want this one on. And Stream Deck actually kind of simplifies that. And you just like press a button. And I'm like, oh, I want this one. Oh, or if you need to take a bio break, instead of having your game up in an empty chair, you can actually have like a different scene that's going on. So there's something else that's visually going on that will keep the attention of your viewers. It makes that so much easier rather than like fiddling around and this is what I need to do.
Yeah, because I was definitely looking at it. Okay, so some key features, and I definitely want to hear you guys, your different setups for streaming. So it says physical and visual feedback, LCD keys indicate status of an action once complete, even in low light, unlimited customizations. You have that. You have native integration of choose from a growing number of popular integrations. You have your game capture stuff, OBS, Type Stream, Twitch, Twitter, and more. And you have a simple drag and drop setup. Easily drag and drop actions onto keys in the app. Create folders of actions by dragging one action onto another. Gutter magic. What is your setup? So I definitely want to hear the different setups because I can't relate to that kind of a stuff. So I'm always intrigued by how you guys do, you know, like you were talking about the overlays. And I guess when I think you're talking about overlays, I'm thinking you got your Twitter information, that kind of stuff you're talking, right? And then you have yourself on the bottom, I guess left or right, depending on where you put yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And how you kind of have yourself, not necessarily a block thing. It looks like you're part of the background. I don't even know how you do all that.
Green screen.
Yeah. So all that fancy stuff. I don't know anything about that stuff. So I'm always interested in that kind of stuff. So this particular package product is what is it? $149.95, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so
I'm still like, you know, debating on that price point there.
You think it's too much or too little?
Well, it does a lot. I have to feel, I guess I have to try it out myself personally to see if it's really worth that, because it is $150. It's not cheap. Not every person who wants to stream can afford that.
Right.
And to me, it's more of like, is it worth $150 to make your life that much easier and to step up your production value?
Right.
It's always an investment into yourself.
Of course.
Still, it's an investment. Like, do you have that money to like put $150 towards it? That one I don't know yet, because I was like, I would have to feel like I would have to use at least, for me to justify the price for myself, I feel like I have to use at least, I don't know, about 70-75% of what it offers to you in capabilities. I'd have to use that to feel like it's worth it to me.
Right, because essentially it's promoting, to some degree, I could be completely wrong, right? Mm-hmm. It's promoting ease of use in terms of how you process things much faster, right? Mm-hmm. So the fact that it incorporates all the different things that you do on a normal basis, as far as Twitter and all the different things that you do, that whole package, you know, they feel $149 is legit for that price.
And
I don't know.
I'm not debating.
No, I know you're not saying that. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
You know, we just have to see, you know, exactly. You know, I'll definitely look more into it. I don't know. Maybe I'll give them a shout and see what they're saying about that. So Gutter Magic says, same as hers, to be honest. I use OBS through no overlater, but the info
at the moment.
Okay. It's all under the vid feed eating at the moment.
No overlay at the moment, and I created him an overlay to use. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Oh, okay.
Kidding.
All right. Did you get the message, buddy? Did you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all of those things as a streamer, it's really all personal preference, because there's some streamers who have way too much going on that it feels like too cluttered. And I always feel like it's not necessary to have all those things. Is it nice? Sure. But I tune into streams and I watch streams that I'm just equally as entertained by people who have the professional setup with the game captures and they're just streaming from their consoles. Because I see the game, and that's the huge driving point for me is you're there for the game as well. I don't need to see all the other fancy stuff. It's nice to have your...
So you don't care about the special effects, overlays, and all that the extra stuff, the super extra stuff you don't care about.
Yeah, the super extra stuff. Like, I feel having your camera, that's a super extra thing. The overlay is nice for two reasons for me. One is it's nice to just have your info out there so people can find you. And two, for me, it's kind of like almost having a watermark on a photo, because I would feel really crappy if someone like did a clip of something that I did that's amazing that had none of my info on it, and then they took credit for it.
Right.
So I feel like in a way that's kind of a nice way of having just this watermark of that's mine.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Okay, so I'm still, I guess, I'm not part of the cool crew because I don't use overlays and stuff like that. I think those things are really nice when I'm looking at them. I just don't know. I may have to take some tips from you and Gutter Magic to show me how to do that. I have an Elgato device that I don't use, so I don't know.
I have two different devices. Gutter uses Elgato. I have an Elgato and an AverMedia. So I use two different ones, and I don't like one more than the other. They're pretty much the same to me.
And they're running through your laptop, right?
They go into my PC. Yeah. They're both external. Cool. They're both external capture cards, not internal.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's been a while. All right. So gaming news, E3 tickets are sold out, but you already have your stuff. So you're great. You're good to go.
Just sold out now?
I think this past week.
Really? I would have thought they would have sold out a lot sooner.
Yeah, not a lot of people want to pay that price for them tickets, apparently. Not that soon, at least, right?
I guess
so. It's gone. So if you were trying to go, you can't go now.
You're bummed now.
Depending, unless you got connections that they can just, make one phone call and get you in, because there are those individuals out there, that can they just know people. They make one phone call and hey, that happens, but I don't know. So that's over. Voice of Solid Snake, rest in peace, John Segan, dies at 63. So I want to see if I can find some clips on YouTube for Solid Snake saying some cool stuff. I got to go back and do that. So that's what's going on there. And if you want I think it's a fancy watch for $258,000. You can definitely get that. It's a Pokemon collaboration with Roman Jerome. Any comments on those things?
I'd still put my $1.4 million towards my Darth Vader helmet. I'm sorry. I'm still broke.
You're going to keep the helmet? Yeah, right.
So broke from that purchase, so I can't get the watch yet. One day I will.
Yeah. I think you're going to get it soon, though. I think you're going to get it pretty soon. But these things are ridiculous when I'm looking at these prices for them. They're just crazy. Persona 5, Futaba Sakura figure, that's up for pre-order. Devolver Digital will have an E3 press conference this year. And there's an Overwatch Diva live action cosplay video that was pretty neat. Any comments on those things?
I like the Diva one a little bit more than the Mercy.
Really? Why?
I did. I don't know. Just it was a little bit more fun.
Was it because?
Not because she activated Asian.
I didn't say it. You said it. I didn't say it. I'm off the hook. I didn't say it. So I'm completely off the hook on that one. Notice I waited.
It it was a cute like little 3-minute video, and I liked it. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit fun, and
yeah, I liked it. It was dope.
It was like this little detail. I don't know why I love this little tiny detail, but when she shot her pistol, she had that little reaction,
the recoil.
The recoil. That I feel some people when they play shooting or they're acting out shooting, they don't really do that for guns. So I was like, I like those little details, and that she caught it, and it was just like this fan made life thing. I'm like, that's cute. I like this. Yeah,
she really did that thing. It was really dope. Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown has been delayed to 2018. 704 Games announced NASCAR Heat 2, if that's your thing. That'll launch on September 12th, 2017 in North America. Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox versions will arrive on the 17th of November. Any comments on those things?
No.
Me neither. Phantom Dust is free on Xbox One and Windows 10. And there's a couple of deals going on with Xbox with Gold, Spotlight Sale, all that good stuff. Backwards compatibility, Super Sale that ends on May 22nd. Assassin's Creed as well as Far Cry 5 and The Crew 2 next fiscal year. Any comments on those things?
I always wanted to try The Crew 2. It looked like a good concept, and I think...
The Crew?
Yeah, The Crew. I thought it came out with a good concept, and I think it just died out really fast.
Really fast. I mean, so fast that, I almost forgot it was a game.
Oh, okay, that's really bad.
Okay, so the thing with that is, I don't know if it's a general consensus when it comes to Twitter and social media and stuff like that. The only games that I hear that, from what I saw, that people are really excited about include Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Crew is not even mentioned in that conversation. Now, I'm not saying that Crew is going to be a bad game. So I have to balance my thoughts because, the flamers and the fact checkers and the, those individuals, I got to talk to them too. I'm not saying Crew 2 is a bad game. Okay. I'm just saying that some individuals are not as excited about that one because of the first one. They are excited about Far Cry 5 and Assassin's Creed. Any comments on that?
No, as long as Assassin's Creed is all pirates again or somewhat close to pirates, I'm down for that. Because they showed those screenshots of the pirate boats. I'm like, I can dig that.
Gutter Magic says, man, call it The Family and it's Fast and Furious. Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of a thing. So it's not bad. It's just, to each his own when it comes to that stuff. Don't Nod Entertainment confirms Life is Strange 2. CD Projekt Red announced that a public beta for Gwent, the Witcher card game, is coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PS4 on May 24th. Anything on those two?
Life is Strange 2. If you haven't played it yet, you have to. You absolutely have to.
I have to?
So good.
I have to?
Yes. It's an episodic storytelling game that really hits you in the feels. So good. Ugh.
Is it like 13 tracks on the CD or?
No. It's
it's not like that?
It's only 5. Was it 5? 4 or 5 episodes to it. Kind of like the Telltale series, but it looks better than the Telltale series, like graphically, and the story was, oh my goodness, the story was so good. The music fits the mood so well. I cried.
You cried?
Yeah. It was sad and good. And you have to play it.
It was sad and good. So so you want me to cry? It was sad and good and I have to play it.
Cry.
There's a difference.
Okay, it was a sad cry because there's sad elements.
Okay, I'm confused. You're confusing me right now. You're completely confusing me right now. It was a good cry, but it was sad. So it wasn't tears of joy.
Like the Notebook kind of sad.
That was sad.
But it was still good.
I can't with you right now. I don't even know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. See, I don't even know what to do with that. I lost my notes. I got to go back to it now. See, you made me lose my notes. I don't even know. Okay, so Skeleton says, was it more or less sad than the horse getting stuck in the swamp during the Neverending Story?
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so Neverending Story Hundreds is really good.
Yeah, you have to watch that too.
And I think didn't they just re-release a DVD or something like that? Maybe I saw that somewhere random.
I don't know if they re-released it, but I do own it on DVD.
Yeah, it's definitely really, really good. You must check it out. I'm surprised going back and sitting through Blade Runner being a film from 1982. I was very impressed. I was immersed in that world, and then certain aspect of it. I'm not going to give anything away because I know you're going to check it out soon. That there's certain aspect of it that reminded me of Destiny 2, believe it or not, and Destiny 1. Why? You see, I don't like. Was that a good laugh or a bad laugh? I'm really trying to gauge the laugh you just gave me just now.
In the halfway mark without Destiny.
Oh, okay. So you got to go there.
I was kind of waiting. I'm like, I know Destiny's gonna come in. I was like, I went through the notes. I'm like, okay, where's Destiny?
Oh, okay. So you're gonna do that. Okay. All right. But I mean, yeah, I know you're giving me a hard time. Okay. It's 350. Woo. It's woo. But yeah, so I was really, okay, I'm going to stop now because you're laughing at me. And I don't know if that's a good laugh or a bad laugh. So, all right. So you have that. Okay. So we talked about CD Projekt Red. 343 Industries appoints Chris Lee to be its new studio head. Also, if you want Halo 3 Anniversary, if you guys really want that, it isn't coming. So I guess stop dreaming about it.
You want it?
Right.
No.
It's not happening. So don't look for that. Star Wars Battlefront 2 will chronicle the mysterious 30-year gap between Star Wars Episode 6, right? That's 6, right?
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi, and Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Any comments on those things?
I didn't realize that that's a game, right? The Battlefront 2? I didn't know that it tied directly into the movies like that. To explain.
Yeah, Battlefront. Yeah, Battlefront is really good. I liked it.
Can I just get a YouTube video of just the cutscenes for that?
The Battlefront, it's probably going to be really dope. I don't know if did they even have a full? They did not have a full campaign style for that. They have some nice transitions into the battle, from what I remember. I guess you guys can correct me on that for the fact checkers and stuff. That's what I remember. But in terms of the pew pew type fighting for the FPS, I think it was really nice. It was a very, very, to some, for the hardcore FPS people, it was a very watered down shooter because it didn't give you a lot of customization options and stuff like that. So a lot of people just kind of, gave it a negative because of that. But outside of that, in terms of Star Wars, fans, like fanatics, it was really nice. It was well done. So
yeah,
you guys can tell me if I'm completely
to go and play Battlefront. I don't know what it is I don't like about person. Star Wars games.
You're right.
I don't really like I don't really like Star Wars.
I thought it gave you an option to change, didn't it? Gutter Magic. I thought it gave you an option to change from first to All right, sweet. So yeah, definitely dope game. So you have that. Okay. Microsoft Scalebound may have some hope after all. So if you're still hoping for that, I'm going to have a link in the show notes about that. Capcom hopes to sell 10 million copies of Resident Evil 7. Any comments on those two things?
I am crossing my fingers, my toes, my arms for Scalebound.
Really?
Yes. Oh my God. I was so incredibly heartbroken when they said that, they're dropping it. I was looking forward to Scalebound so much.
Wow.
And I was just hoping that somebody would just pick it up or anything like that. And
okay.
To hear this, even though it's a little bit of news, please.
Yeah, there's a little bit of hope there for you. Just a little bit of hope. What about Resident Evil? I know you played that, you liked it. So 10 million is reachable, right? You think?
Yeah, I do. It's a really good game. I'm one of those 10 million going towards that goal. So
yeah, I can see.
I think they can.
Yeah, I could definitely see them doing that. This podcast is brought to you by ProXPN. ProXPN is a VPN service that secures your internet connection against eavesdropping, hides your location, and allows you to access your favorite sites no matter where you live or travel to. With it, no one can see the websites you visit or track your online activity. Check out theshowradio.info/ProXPN and use the promo code SHORAM for 20% off of the lifetime of your account. This podcast is also brought to you by Audible.com. Audible has over 180,000 plus audiobooks to choose from. Get your first audiobook free with a 30-day trial. Check out theshowradio.info/audiobook for your 30-day trial. So Sega, I've always enjoyed Sega stuff. And I know we've talked about in the past how you had, Sega stuff and you're waiting for the night shift. That's a song, right?
The night shift.
I'm thinking
the
of the
night
song.
trap.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Night Shift is a song. So Sega plans to revive old franchises, and according to the PDF that they released, it's what are they doing? A revival of past IPs and active utilization of external IPs. They're doing that. They're also maximizing the value of IPs by expanding development channels and regions of respective IPs. So for those who are not necessarily familiar with Sega, which is almost impossible, you at least have seen or heard of something Sega, whether it's Space Channel 5, Outrun, Crazy Taxi, Rise Star, Gunstar Heroes, Eternal Champions, Panzer Dragoon, Fighting Vipers, Echo the Dolphin, Choo Choo Rocket, and many, 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 many more. Any comments on those things?
I have never heard of Choo Choo Rocket, but based off of that
Rocket
name alone, I'm interested.
Yeah, definitely Sonic. Because I didn't want to make the list as exhaustive, Skeletor. That's why I didn't mention, Sonic, which is almost everybody, has seen the Blue Hedgehog somewhere. So that's why I kind of left it out. That was actually purpose. That was done on purpose.
Yeah, because when you think of Sega, you only think of Sonic is the very first thing. I almost forget that Sega had other games.
That was on purpose too.
And they have Sonic Mania coming out, which kind of proves the point about reviving old franchises and refreshing it, is that they have that Sonic Mania coming out too. So
yeah, Knights was one of my favorites, and Sonic is definitely a given. Space Channel 5, of course, Jet Set Radio, which was recent for 360 and some other stuff. I think they recently redid that, or re-released that not too long ago. So Eternal Champions, one of my favorites. Was a weird game trying to figure out the moves for that. Echo the Dolphin is definitely great. Choo Choo Rocket. I'm sure there's some YouTube videos out there you can check out, which I think you'll like it. It's interesting. It's very interesting, and I think it has a cuteness factor to it too. And definitely many, many more. So yeah, I'm excited about that because I'm a Sega fan. I really enjoy their stuff. So you have that. SNK announced that the King of Fighters. Let me work with this one. 14. I think that's 14.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, that is a 14.
That is 14. Steam Edition will launch on that platform June 15th, and a lot of Nintendo stuff that I definitely want to go through. What we got? I want to see a new Golden Axe. But the one they made on the 360 was terrible. That Skeletor says that. I haven't played that one at all. So maybe that was a good.
Long time.
Yeah, maybe it was good. I passed that over that one. But Golden Axe was really dope. So emulators, right? You guys are big in emulators?
Yeah, no.
Yes and no. Okay, they're pretty cool. They still offer the ability to go back and play Streets of Rage and all those cool games back in the day.
I think I have Streets of Rage. Oh, no. Well, I do actually, but I have the original one. So I like emulators, I do, for games I don't own, but majority of the older titles I own, I have the platform to play it on.
Word. All right, so you have that. Okay, so there's some bugs going on, or maybe a bug that's happening right now with Nintendo Switch, where it's taking random screenshots. Not sure if they updated that or not. If they did, please let me know, and I will mention that again later on before we close. Also, how much would you pay, Danny, for an empty box? What's that worth to you?
It kind of depends.
God, really?
Yes.
You would pay for an empty box.
The collector that is in me, the collector. Now, it has to be for an older title, and it has to be for a game that's in my library. Because, yeah, I would like to have, like, complete sets with the box. So it kind of depends. Okay. But I would. You would pay for an empty box? Yes, if I had the items that go in it. Okay. All right, so this is not necessarily a foreign thing, right? No. So paying for an empty box, I've done that. First world problems. How much to spend on an empty game box? Yeah, that was just definitely very, very interesting. So, I've paid for empty boxes before, right? FedEx and different things like that. You pay for that and then you put the stuff in it, right? So it's not necessarily foreign to most of us, but for a game box,
I don't know. I don't know if I pay $5, $6 for a game box that's empty, unless I have the disc at home, like very similar to what you're saying. And then I just want to get the box to fit it. If that's the only way for me to get the box. So maybe eBay will probably be a little bit cheaper. Maybe, right? Maybe. So Splatoon 2 Switch bundle box. They're actually selling it in Japan for 540 yen. I think it's about like $5-6 or something like that. If that's your thing, definitely check it out. It's not my thing. So I'll just leave it there. So Nintendo Switch was April's best-selling games console in the US. More than 280,000 Switch consoles were sold during the month, along with another 69K units of the 3DS. Any comments on those things?
Going back to the empty box, I sold my original Nintendo Wii box for $60 on eBay.
Really?
Okay, so it was just out of curiosity because I thought people were crazy, and I listed it for 99 cents. And I very specific in my listing. It says empty box only, and it had maybe I had I had the inserts, like the little manuals and stuff like that,
right,
and the plastic wrappings, and I lit that, and just the box only, and I listed it for 99 cents, and it sold for just over $60 plus the shipping of that box.
$60 for an empty box
for the Nintendo Wii box.
Okay.
I didn't think it would do that well because I thought people were crazy, and I was like, I wonder how crazy people are. 99 cents. The bidding on that was for like in $1 increments, and 59 people got it up to $60, and I'm like, okay, that's up to you. You can spend your money however you want. Here's your empty box.
I don't even know what to do with that.
But it's definitely for the hardcore collectors. It really is. Because I have like some retro game resellers that will just find a perfect mint condition box for, I don't know, let's say Link. And they'll sell that for a really nice penny just for the box. Now, when it comes to the newer stuff, again, it falls into the collectors of those people just really wanting to have that complete set. And it's kind of a huge thing.
Apparently. Apparently. All right, so you have that. Okay, so Nintendo America. All right, so when it comes to comments, right? Some YouTube channels will allow comments, some will not. According to this particular thing that I saw recently, Nintendo of America will allow comments on its YouTube videos, but the Japanese headquarters does not allow comments. How do you guys feel about having comments or not having it as an option as a creator versus the individuals who are commenting? When you go to a YouTube page, there is no the ability for you to leave comments are taken away. Do you feel some kind of way about that? Yay or nay? Your thoughts, Danny?
My thoughts is when it comes to a big company, I don't think it's a big deal for them to have comments disabled, because there's going to be a lot of people who either don't like products that they have or was disgruntled about a certain game, and they just leave the most hateful, vile things ever.
They do.
Yeah, like people can be really nasty. Like, oh, I paid this much for a game, and have whatever thing that they disagree with it or they didn't like about it, and they just leave those kind of comments. People on the internet are not nice.
They're right. Some of them are not nice. So there's the other.
For smaller people, smaller streamers that aren't really big companies, I don't know. It's nice to get feedback through that. Like, I can understand getting the feedback from comments like that. Like, I mean, not necessarily negative ones, but when people like the stuff you do and they're like, hey, maybe you might want to try this or maybe improve on that. That's nice. So I can understand for smaller ones. Companies, I don't think they need to have comments.
Okay, so having experienced, you've been on YouTube and you've done some things on YouTube, would you leave your comments open all the time, or would you change depending on, you would leave it open?
I would.
Okay, so the other side of that too. So let me see if I can remember where I was going to go with that. All right, so I think that big companies should, publishers and creators, more so developers, I should say, should leave them open, because it can sway the entire creation for the next project. And the reason I say it that way is because when Infinite Warfare came out with their trailer, I don't know if it was the first trailer or one of the trailers that they released, that thing got so many dislikes, and I don't even know what the comment section was like on that. And I think that even changed, their next project, which is going to be the new Call of Duty, which I don't have it in my mind right now. I don't know what it's called. I can't think of it right now. World War II, right? So it changed their trajectory of what they were going to do with their next title, as far as Call of Duty is concerned, based on the comments and the dislikes that video got for Infinite Warfare. To my understanding, from what I remember, I could be completely wrong for the fact checkers. So I got to say that. So I think that even in that instance alone, that made sense for that company. And handling that on a case by case basis, I guess it would depend on what's happening with that.
I don't know about feedback. Yeah, I understand. I guess I can agree to that certain point, but constructive feedback, or good or positive, I feel that's what forums are for, and not enough people use them. I don't know if they just find it too hard to use, or it's just too out of the way. Because people on the internet can say all sorts of stuff.
This is true. No, I mean, I definitely agree with that. So you have that. So that's what's going on with that piece of news. Disgaea 5 Complete only managed to sell 20,000 units in Japan on the Switch. NIS America CEO Takuro Yamashita says Japanese games companies need to focus more on the Western market to expand their game business. In order to make the NIS group's consolidated figures better, our Western sales is very important. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so will we see in the near future a lot of games being localized? I know Persona 5 was one of the recent ones. And are we not going to pay attention to that market as much until we start seeing more of those games localized?
Yeah, I have to say so, because there's a lot of good titles that Japan has that would do great. I can't think of any that come to my mind, but I know that they have a lot of titles that are only specific to Japan, and I think they would do really good in the US. I think it would help them a lot. However, them only getting 20,000 units for this, I don't know how to pronounce this title. I never knew how to pronounce it. Disgaea?
Yeah, I usually say Disgaea.
That's really low and really unfortunate, because I know that title to be pretty popular and well received, and it's kind of sad it's only 20,000. But as you can see, something that, is normally popular in Japan did really, really well here. So I kind of hope they will port more titles of theirs for Western players, because I know there's a lot of games, especially their Gundam games, I would love to play.
Yeah, I think, but you can, right? But you can. I guess the only thing is, because I know there's the website called Play Asia, and then there's a lot of those titles on that website. And that was another thing I was thinking about recently, because I keep thinking about the what do you call that PlayStation handheld?
The Vita? The PSP?
The Vita, right. So the Vita, from what I understand, is region free depending on what account that you put on the platform. So you can do one or the other, but essentially the device is region free. So you guys can correct me on that on Discord. I may be wrong on that. And I'm interested in that device because of all the games that they have over there that's not over here, which would be great to do that. Now, another game also when it comes to PS4 stuff, you have Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, Puyo Puyo. For a while wasn't localized yet, right? Until recently. Or was that digital download for you recently, or do you bought that in the store?
Puyo Puyo Tetris?
Yeah,
I bought that from Amazon. It's a physical.
It's a physical, right? It was an American copy,
yes,
right?
It is.
Okay, so I believe that before that happened, you can actually get it and from like Play Asia, and then just play it on your system here. So a lot of those games are available right now. They're not as advertised, or if at all, here. But I definitely want to finish the last section for this Disgaea thing. It says, while the Western pre-order units of Disgaea 5 Switch exceeded 110,000 units, the Japanese sell-in number on the game was unfortunately less than 20,000 units. We had predicted this would happen to some extent. However, we were surprised that the gap was much bigger than we thought. So westernizing, localizing the games here is going to be something that we're going to see trending up, right? Mm-hmm. I'd say. And I guess in the near future, any comments on those things?
So going back on your point that, I believe the PS4 is open region too. The only problem with buying a game that is overseas is it is not localized for Western. So you're having to either play through the story and not know what's going on because there's no translations, or taking a lot longer to sit there to try to translate it so you can figure out what the story is.
Right.
And that's difficult for me. I don't have the time for that, but you know, there's always hopes.
Right.
If I was really super patient, if I could actually, if somebody was like awesome enough to make a YouTube video for like these Gundam games I want to play that has just like the English translations on it that I can play as I can watch as I'm playing this, perfect. I'd do that. But I just have the dreams of, okay, please port it over translation so I know what's going on.
So none of the Gundam games have the option for English?
No.
That's not cool.
Sadly. And then to be able to play them, you do have to have a Japan account.
Okay.
Which I almost contemplated doing because they, a few months back, they had the Gundam beta for their next game that's coming out. Again, I can't remember the title. And I needed to have a Japan account for that. And I almost but I will, except that I couldn't understand the website to create my account and I got lost. And I gave up.
Wow. Yeah, so... It's definitely, I mean, I think that I did an Amazon Japan account for that. I haven't really used it though, you know, in terms of seeing the different options that they have for that stuff. But it's not much of a pressing need for me to do that because of what we just talked about with localization stuff. So we'll see. And maybe you'll see Gundam. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing more of that stuff. So that's what we have with that. A Nintendo Switch version of Minecraft runs at a resolution of 720p in both handheld and docked modes. Microsoft confirmed the Switch version's lack of 1080p support, even when docked, isn't because the system isn't powerful enough to handle it, but rather due to issues with the shift between resolutions when switching from docked to undocked mode. Do you care?
Not really. I'm my Minecraft stages.
You passed?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, it's good.
Okay.
I think every kid should play Minecraft. It's a really great game for kids and to build upon that creativity and imagination of building these things in these worlds. But for me personally, I'm like, okay, now Minecraft has taken over all of the gaming world. Yay.
Okay, so the RetronN HD works with original NES cartridges from both NTSC and PAL regions. Screen resolution 720p. This is pretty much the thing that you can get since you may not be able to get the NES Mini anymore. It does come with a 10-foot cord, comes with a controller, HD cable, micro USB charge cable, but who is this really for? I guess that's where I wanted to go with that, because some of us are doing the emulator stuff. Some of us may have the NES Mini. This is something that we're going to resort to, or we're settling at this point, since we're not going to be able to access or have the ability to purchase the NES Mini anymore.
I would love one. I have one that's similar. It doesn't do the 720p. It's a different company, I think. It's called FC Twin. But the RetronN series line is really, really good. And it's definitely for those who have the physical cartridges, but might not necessarily have a good working, Nintendo or Super Nintendo. So this is a good alternative. And I fully support their entire series and everything that they do. And I would love one that supports more. So eventually I'll get another one. But this RetronN HD actually looks like a good possibility for me stepping up. Even though I technically do still have all my consoles. Some of them they're getting to that point where they're really old. And some of the replacement parts are getting a little bit harder to find or to fix. So rather than adding more wear to it, having items like this is a nice alternative.
Are you going to sell your empty boxes?
No. Now I collect my empty boxes.
Okay. So Zelda series headed to smartphones. Maybe that's a talk. Does Destiny make every single episode we talk about? Does it really? Now I'm all like,
so far. I'm not complaining. I think it's funny. It's like if you have a love for the game, let it.
I was just wondering. Yeah, it does. Oh, do you blame me? It's a great game.
I don't blame you.
But that's That's debatable, though. That's definitely debatable. Destiny raiders kill all bosses without guns or dying. So Destiny made it at the end, right? Destiny on Battle.net. So the Battle.net thing, we did talk about that on the Destiny episode. So basically what's going on there is since 1996, I guess you can fact check the date. Okay, when this Battle.net was created, the only game, this is the first, if not the only game that's not a Blizzard game that's on the platform or something like that. So according to the quote, it says, our focus in terms of supporting non-Blizzard games is solely around Destiny 2. Aside from potentially evaluating needs or opportunities for future Activision games, we don't have any short or long-term plans to support third-party games on Battle.net. Any comments on that?
That is the sole reason why I think they chose Battle.net or Blizzard. It's simply for that platform to be able to communicate. And I would be surprised if they even considered any other Activision Bungie titles, because my whole theory is why they're not is that when it comes to Destiny, you have those raids, those strikes, which is like heavy on communication. Right. You need that. Whereas if you play like COD, you can play that with no communication without anybody and just do just fine. Hardly anybody talks anyways. But when it comes to raids, that's like, you need to know what's going on among your teammates. So I believe because Blizzard already has that fully established server that's pretty solid with all their previous games. You have WoW, you have StarCraft, you have Diablo, you have all these games. Right. It makes sense for them to be on there instead of Steam. Do I think they should still be on Steam? Yes. But in terms of having communications and being able to build your friendships and people to play with, Blizzard just makes sense.
Okay, so I don't know if it's true or not, depending on what I saw or didn't really see, that they're not going to have Destiny 2. The PC will not be on dedicated servers. I guess, Gutter, you can tell me if that's like completely, I must have been dreaming when I saw that or not. But I think that's up in the air in terms of what it's going to have. But as we talked about, I missed that. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to have Destiny 2 PC on dedicated servers. I think I saw that somewhere. I may have to double check that though.
That'd be a little sad, but that is a heavy overhead to have dedicated servers.
Yeah, but that could be rumored. That could be fake news though. I could just be making that up.
If they have dedicated servers, Blizzard would definitely be the best place for them to be.
So let's see. Dedicated. I'm going to search it right now. Dedicated servers. Destiny 2. Let's see what we got there. Maybe I did see that. Destiny 2 won't have dedicated servers. Update. Yep. Yep. So that's true. So I wasn't dreaming. I did see that. Skeleto says it's weird how some games get high PC support and crappy console support, and some are the opposite. So that's what's going on there. So yeah, so it's not going to have that. I did see that. I was not dreaming. And let me see where we're at. Okay, so last but not least is Tekken 7. This particular story trailer was amazing to me based on, the voiceover guy was really intense. I really enjoyed that. So definitely check that out. No Glory for Heroes is the trailer for Tekken 7. And anything that I left out that you want to mention before we get ready to close out this episode 350? DJ, what's up?
No, we talked about a lot and we covered a lot, and that was a lot of fun.
Just a lot of stuff, right?
We did. And a lot of stuff. What's crazy is that you had another post this week, and then we had the Destiny post, and I didn't think we were going to have as much to cover today.
Yeah,
we really did.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So full disclosure, if I do an interview during the week, and I know I'm not gonna ask you to dedicate that time to do something during the week because the times are completely off anyway, since we're 6 hours apart. So that's full disclosure. I wanted to mention that to you. So if I do that the interview I did this week could have been 350, but I wanted to celebrate 350 with you. So that's why I waited, right? Because this is 350. That means you've been recording with me for 10 episodes now, right? Because
350.
Right? That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to do like, hey, this is Zero from the Show Radio. This episode, blah, 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 with an interview with whoever it is. That as an episode, I really wanted to have the conversation between you and the support that we're having from the Discord peeps that, diligently come and hang out with us for Sundays and that kind of a thing. And for some of us, it's 12 plus in the morning. For others, it's different times, but I don't take that lightly, basically. So I'm glad that we're able to do it this way. And so I'm not gonna do that kind of stuff. I'll do the interviews during the week, and then we'll find a way to make it an episode, but not the core stuff for Sundays.
Yep,
I'm gonna leave that for us.
Please understand that.
So that's what's going on with that. So that's the crazy madness that I think about throughout the week. Also, a couple of things, changes on the website. I added some widgets for the showradio.info, specifically for donations, because I know that Danny won't pitch for her, because from what I've gathered and I've done my homework, and according to her constitution, she will not pitch and mention any donations for her. So I'm going to do the pitch for her. Okay, so if you guys go to, I could do that, right? So if you guys go to the showradio.info, we have the little widgets to, please consider donating to her. Do her first, and if you still want to help me out, that's cool. So I know she's so uncomfortable right now, because I've done my homework, but definitely support her, whether you're doing it on twitch.tv/ Miss DJM. Definitely consider doing that. You can also find her on girlstreamers.com. She is the tech and review person there. Support her either on the showradio.info or her Twitch stream. She's dope. She's amazing, and she's good peeps, and I appreciate her. So Danny, take us out.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in live with us. I appreciate it. So does Andrew. Love having you guys here. And if you happen to miss the live show, don't worry. You can catch us on all your other favorite podcatchers, Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. And if you want to, you can tune in every Sundays at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.theshowradio.info/Discord. We're live every Sunday, so hopefully you can tune in on the next one. And be sure, if you like what we do here, subscribe, tell a friend, and let us know what you think. So until then, you guys have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday.
And we're done.
Yay!
Dope stuff. Thank you guys so much. It's always appreciated. Yeah, it was a lot. I didn't realize it was going to be this huge. But definitely a lot to cover this. Yeah. So dope stuff. Always appreciate it. And what else is going on? That's it, right? I think we got everything. All right, cool. So I'm going to stop on my end. 3, 2, 1.